everyone, and welcome to my new YouTube series. I haven't done a lot of YouTubes lately, but I feel very inspired to share with you guys a book I'm reading. And I used to do these on TikTok, and I used to share little snippets or insights that I was getting. And so I want to do that, but in a little bit of a longer form, because I feel like this book deserves a lot more attention than what I could give it on short form platforms like Instagram or TikTok or even on LinkedIn. And I really want you guys to support the book. If you feel so inclined, I'm going to put a link in the description to be able to buy the book, The Untethered Soul. This is an amazing and powerful book, and so I hope we get to dive right into it together, and we're going to go chapter by chapter to sort of dissect the book. Okay, so we're going to start, obviously, chapter 1, because that's how you start counting. Like, I wish there was a chapter 0, because then I would have more to talk about it. But, no, there's chapter 1. So, chapter 1 is called The Voice in Your Head. Now, every time I talk about the voice in your head, people look at me like I'm crazy, like I'm basically listening to the Rice Krispies treats talking to me. And that's not the case. Like, I have had discussions where I can't describe what it is, but you know when you're reading a book and it's narrating in your head, like you can't hear it, like I'm not saying you can hear, but you can hear a voice in your head, like not audibly through your ears hear it, but it's reading it, like it's just like you hear the words in your head. And people will look at me like, what are you talking about, weirdo? I have never come across anybody who does not have that voice when I finally explain to them what it actually is, right? But we're gonna get to the voice in your head. And some of the things that like I feel were very important about this chapter was that, one, I'm not alone, because I tend to start feeling like, oh my God, yeah, definitely feel alone. I definitely feel like, you know, nobody else is going to understand me. Nobody else is going to get that, like, this is happening to me. I'm too neurotic for people to get it, or just outright crazy, right? But there are just some passages in here that, like, really hit home for me. So I'm going to share the first one with you guys. And I thought this was where it like sort of clicked for me, okay? So you do hear it when it talks, don't you? Make it say hello right now. Say it over and over a few times. Now shout it inside. Can you hear yourself saying hello inside? Of course you can. There's a voice talking. And there is you who notices the voice talking. So right off the bat, it's saying that not only is there the voice, but there's somebody hearing the voice. Let me say that again. There is the voice that's happening, the chatter, but then there's somebody witnessing the voice, hearing it, like processing it, like, yes, that's happening. I can actually control it. So if I'm not the voice, then what am I? That's basically the gist of the chapter. It's trying to tell you that, okay, if you can hear that voice, if you know that it exists, well, how do you know that it exists? There has to be another layer that is processing this, and that it is hearing the voice. It's witnessing the voice. So it goes on to say, the problem is that it's easy to notice the voice saying hello, but it's difficult to see that no matter what the voice says, it's still just a voice talking and you listening. There's absolutely nothing that voice can say that is more you than anything else it says. Suppose you were looking at 3 objects, a flower pot, a photograph, and a book, and were then asked, which of these objects is you? You'd say, none of them. I'm the one who's looking at what you're putting in front of me. It doesn't matter what you put in front of me, I'm always going to be looking at it. Again, blew my mind, because I'm thinking, okay, so this voice and the witness of this voice are 2 separate spiritual entities, but it's not. It's trying to make that so the voice is now an object. something separate from me, something that's outside of me, something that is just not happening. And apart from that, it's the one witnessing. So I am not the object, I'm not the chatter, I'm not the brain going in a spiral. I am actually the witness. Or am I? And we're going to close this one up by saying, you see, it's an act of a subject perceiving of various objects. This is also true of hearing the voice inside. It doesn't make any difference what it's saying. You are the one who is aware of it. As long as you think that one thing it's saying is you, but the other thing it's saying is not you, you've lost your objectivity. You may want to think of yourself as a part that says the nice things, but that's still the voice talking. You may like what it says, but it's not you. Okay, so I'm not the nice things, I'm not the mean things, I'm not the crazy things. I'm just the one that's witnessing it. And I know this can be a little woo-woo. I know this is not for the weak. This is not for newbies. This is not for somebody who just dabbles in meditation every once in a while. This is some very spiritual shit that we're getting into, right? And I just want to preface that over the next couple of weeks that I'm going to be sharing these videos, I want you to understand that even if you don't believe what I'm saying, even if you don't believe the book, even if you don't, just take what you like and leave the rest. That's all you have to do. Maybe I say something that you like, maybe I say something you don't like. Discard the stuff that you don't like and take the stuff that you do like. But what I will challenge you to do is ask yourself, why don't I like this other part of what she's saying? What is it about this that I am rejecting? What is it about this that fundamentally I do not embrace, like, want, or anything? And the other part of the challenge is try to see it from that point of view. If you were in a debate, I would say argue for it. Find out what are the arguments that you can create that would validate the things that you don't like about what I'm saying. Okay? And if you do those two things and you still do not resonate with it, you still do not like it, you still do not feel like it's true, throw it away. It's that simple. Now, when I started reading this book, I had no idea what this book was gonna talk about. I had no idea that this thing was going to absolutely change my life. And here I am sharing it with you guys. Honestly, part of me is screaming, don't post this, it's too crazy, don't post it because it's too spiritual, this isn't what you're talking about, this isn't what, but I'm taking a step back and I'm witnessing it from a point of my brain is just chattering. My brain has this preconceived notion that it will fail and that's embarrassing and nobody wants this and all this other stuff that are coming with this. And I'm taking a step back and I'm just witnessing that my brain is saying these things. That doesn't make them real. That doesn't make them true. So I'm going to post it anyways because I like talking about this stuff. I want to talk about this stuff. And I hope you guys join me for this ride because this book is fucking crazy, okay? In my next video, we're going to be diving in more into chapter 1. You know, I thought I was going to do a chapter video, but there's just too much information in here. And quite frankly, I haven't even finished the book myself. Like, I'm reading a chapter a day, and that I feel like is way too much to even cover. So I'm going to be covering just a little bit from each chapter in every video, and I hope you guys follow me. Again, the link to purchase it is gonna be in the description. I also wrote a book about journaling, and you guys, journaling is the best way to process all this shit, okay? Hands down. Journaling, prayer, meditation, those 3 things, integrate them into your life. And if you need help trying to figure out how to start journaling, I'm going to put a link to my book in the description too. And yeah, just the links to all my social media if you want to follow me. But, you know, whatever. Just come back, join me for this incredible journey on this book. Love you guys. Bye.